Welcome to EAC Speaks, the podcast where we dive deep into the movement to end the HIV epidemic right here in the heart of the South, Arkansas. I'm your host, Eddie Wiley, and together we're going to explore the stories, insights, and passion that fuels engaging Arkansas community's mission. Join us on this journey as we unite voices and take meaningful steps toward a world free of HIV stigma. Now, get ready for a conversation that matters. This is EAC Speaks. Welcome back. Hello, everyone. My name is Eddie Wiley, your host of EAC Speaks, the show where we mix truth, tenderness, and a touch of tea to spotlight stories from the front lines of culture, care, and community. Today, we're going to tap into the heartbeat of HIV work in Arkansas, where stigma, silence, and systemic barriers still linger. But so does power, progress, and pride. Our guest is EAC's own D, a brilliant, eccentric force in the field who's been pushing for change where it's needed most, in rural towns, in small Arkansas, at pride events, and everywhere in between. Now, we're going to get into the current HIV point of view in Arkansas. What does pride mean in places that you don't always feel safe? And how National HIV Testing Day is shaping up this year. So make sure you stay tuned for this wonderful episode. So, Dee, welcome back to EAC Speaks.
Hello.
What's been up since we last spoke? What was that, 2023, 2024?
Right. It was a little minute, but we back on time.
Yeah.
I just
How have
been,
things been for you?
I just been trying to stay, positive, and it's been challenging because everywhere you look is so negative. So I just
It
been
is.
trying to stay focused and not let anybody bring down my positivity.
And tell me, how do you stay positive during these times?
Just remembering that it's important to to just stay positive because people are just going through so much, and I tell myself that it's always somebody that's going through something worse. It's always somebody dealing with something that could be a little bit more heavier. So I just try to keep myself grounded for those people because everybody needs somebody.
Absolutely. So for those who may not remember or who may be new to EAC Speaks, tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm DD. I'm D Star on my Facebook. I belong to a gay family. I speak about that a lot because they have helped me through my life, through everything that I've went through in my life. I get a lot of nourishment and a lot of love from my gay family. So I'm D. I belong to the Star family with 2 hours. I just recently beat cancer. I talk about that a lot too because I had family members that I've lost to cancer, and when I got diagnosed, it's like God told me it's somebody's time to beat it. So you need to just be ready, do what you got to do, whatever the doctors asked me to do, and just get it done. And I rang that bell. You hear me?
Hello, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I'm so glad you're still here with us, shining bright as ever. It's a blessing to have you.
Thank you.
So tell us, from your perspective, what are some of the most pressing challenges that the HIV community is facing in Arkansas right now?
People still thinking that HIV is a gay disease. People still thinking that it only comes from the gay community. People not realizing that, baby, this ain't just no gay community thing. It ain't never been that. It's a we thing. And it's only going to get defeated if we come together. We got to all come together and care about each other and just do what we got to do.
Absolutely. So you mentioned a couple of the misconceptions. What are some of the biggest misconceptions in your particular region of Arkansas that you're working hard to address?
Just putting out the truth. I was telling them in our support group on Saturday that, we the professionals, the people who are living with it, if you don't, when you hear the wrong thing, if you don't get it, grab it by the neck and choke it out of somebody's body, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. Like, you got to correct whatever you hear that is not right. Because if you don't, it's just going to keep on passing around lie after lie after lie.
Absolutely. I think it was Black Youngster that was like, I'm about to show my ass. And I show mine wherever they show theirs. So I used to not fight misconceptions, but you do have to call it out sometimes. Not sometimes, all the
All the
time.
time.
Because even beyond HIV topics, there's so much hidden racism, homophobia, transphobia. And even on the opposite end of that, in the transphobia, in the homophobia, and all of these other pieces, there's some HIV misconceptions. So that's why I take it so to heart to call it out where it happened.
When I read that a person that is dealing with high blood pressure versus somebody that takes their HIV meds daily, they have higher risk. Like it's harder on them. So to hear those little facts make you wake up and think like, come on now, you got to take everything serious. You got to wake up on everything. I try to tell people now, you got to be the pro when it comes to your diagnosis, whatever you're dealing with. You got to be the professional because doctors are now diagnosing you just for a check. If you don't know enough, you ain't gonna know enough because they're not caring to teach you. You gotta know, baby.
Yeah, the healthcare system to me is going slowly into like a scammy kind of thing. I was talking to a pharmacist recently, maybe last night actually, how things are so inflated and there's so much cost that's within even going to a doctor's visit. If you have insurance, it's even more of a scam because now they're fluffing their prices because they want the insurance to pay. Now I got to
Right.
pay a $50 copay, maybe have to not eat or maybe eat something that's not desirable to me because now I'm paying the copay. It's all a scam. But like you said, I find my ways to stay positive through it all and tell people to pay attention to your billing, pay attention to what the doctor is telling you. If you don't fully understand something, ask those questions. And if your provider is not giving you what you need, maybe you need to find another one. Report their ass. Can I cuss? I don't even know if I've
Come
ever
on
cussed
now.
before. Yeah, report them because folks cannot continue to live in such health disparities and not hold our providers accountable.
Come on. Right. Right. Right.
So we've talked about some misconceptions, some of the negative pieces of the HIV landscape, but what has been some of the progress that you've seen for your team when it comes to HIV prevention, care, and treatment?
What I like is seeing the males like when you're speaking truth and like for example syphilis, speaking about syphilis and putting those facts out there. As long as you're speaking truth, these people like the men, they be wanting to know. They be wanting to know. They want the condoms. Sometimes, yeah, you might get a little pushback like, nah, I don't need them, sir. These numbers are this, this, this. We're dealing with this, this, this. Syphilis is this, this, this. Give me them things. Give me 2 bags. Give me 3 bags. Yeah, pass some out to somebody else. Like, you just have to stay on focus on what you're telling them and deliver the right information and just watch it just spread.
Yes, it's like that's the kind of wildfire that I like when it absolutely spreads beyond their particular close network and then they tell
Right.
their friends and it just balloons. It's just
Like sitting
getting
in
the
a
right information.
like going into a jail and you have the inmates coming, but you have like the kitchen right next to you. And they're listening to you say these facts, and you see them come out of the kitchen, not even supposed to get tested, but hey, come on, stick my finger. You said it's gonna take how long? Let me go ahead, sit down. Yeah, sit down, baby, because it ain't no amount of time worth your life. Sit
Yeah.
down.
And it's so interesting to know how many people don't even know like how quick and painless and how important it is to have this conversation. So yeah, outreach is really important. Now, National HIV Testing Day is coming up. This is celebrated on June 27th. Is there anything going on in your region for that day?
We've been teaming up with Walgreens, and we've been going to Walgreens in different rural cities, posting up, putting out the information, testing as many people that allows us to. We've just been trying to do that, and for me, it might seem small, but you don't realize how it just takes. And then once somebody go to another store, be like, they down there doing this. It just takes and just goes.
Yeah. And I love that piece too, because again, we on the front lines don't realize how big it is. And I remember saying something I remember talking to this particular person, but I don't remember what the hell I said. When they came back and told me what I said, they were like, this changed my life. And I was like, oh, maybe you need to stop and realize the stuff that we're doing actually does help folks. And my viewpoint was like, this will help them get tested or this will help them in a sexual health realm. And the lady came back and was talking about how it was almost like life changing. And I was like, damn, we are doing some like, we're doing the Lord's work.
Come
It's
on,
absolutely the Lord's work.
I mean,
No matter if you believe in the Lord, whoever you believe in, it's good work. Let me say that.
but you're right, Eddie, because I was in Walmart, and I'm always in Walmart. Walmart gets my face. So. And a lady stopped me, and she was like, 5 years ago, I had just moved to Texarkana, and I had came across you at an event, and she was like, you was so much life that I came from that event and just put things into order, and I just started doing better. I was like, now, come on now, because I already live like that. I already live like you never know how your smile or whatever you may say might lift a person and just carry them.
Yeah. Even that light, like not even saying much, because there are some times where I would just go into a space and not want to like take away from maybe the moment, or maybe I'm insecure in my thing. And even just the light that I feel like we carry is like a magnet to people who may need that in the moment. And we don't always realize how important that is or how much of a gift it is. And I would fight against it because I'd be like, why everybody telling me all their business? I just want to know if you have sex with men, women, both, all, whatever. So it's just an innate gift.
I call it my freedom, and it's very addictive. Like you see yourself sitting there, and you just see men like want to be that free. I just call it the freedom, baby, and it just touches everybody.
I love that. I like that. I'm gonna keep that in my pocket. So tell us, National HIV Testing Day is really important. It's sometimes the only time people get tested is
Right.
when they have or go to a Walgreens. Why is it such a critical day in the realm of HIV awareness days?
I believe because I mean, for me, we have to grab every moment. Like every moment is important because if you don't look at it like that, you're gonna miss somebody. Like it's always somebody that's looking for somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yeah,
always somebody that needs somebody. And if you're doing it the right way, which is just being yourself. Like I come in every day, Eddie, as me, and for me, I posted on my Facebook, I posted on all my other social medias, and I just be like, then people had to see it on my Facebook. They had to see it. So it's like I just hold every moment important, which cancer taught me that I hold every moment important and every moment as a part of I can save somebody.
mm-hmm. I
So for
love
me,
that.
that's why it's important to me because it's gonna be a day you're gonna save somebody. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be a day you're gonna show up for somebody that's gonna show up for you.
So how can people find out about some of the events that are going on for National
Always,
HIV?
always on our website, which is engaging Arkansas communities. So like it's always gonna be on our website. It should be on everybody's website. But I be trying to tell people if you don't want to come to engage in Arkansas communities, there's always a nonprofit somewhere. There's always somewhere you can call home somebody that's at least engaged with you. Somewhere you just gotta go look it up.
Yeah. Let's look it up. Like you said, people have websites, there's social medias, all types of ways.
People
We
think it's still
love to
hard.
see your EAC.
People think it's still hard. It ain't hard, baby. It's just as easy as everything else. Baby, just put the time and the effort in, type in them words, and it's gonna pop up for you.
Okay. You don't have to be an investigative journalist to Google.
I'm trying to teach my mama that. Oh, it's so hard. My mama is so hard headed. Lord,
Oh,
it's so
um,
hard. Or I
I,
guess because we best friends, she don't listen to me. So I got to go through everybody. It's like, tell my mama this.
yeah. Oh my God. Did we have the same mom? Because she would never listen to me. But I have a friend that taught her how to post on Facebook, and she never asked me again. I was like, oh, really? I've taught you like 6 times, but this one person
Yeah,
tells you
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 just gotta
got it.
know. You just gotta know you did it. You just gotta know you did it.
So June, a lot happens in June. It's Black Music Month, but it's also Pride Month and celebration of Juneteenth. But I know for Pride in Arkansas, it's always been one of my favorite times to come around. Even if it's not a full on celebration, I think it's really cool to see how it's a time of celebration, a time for advocacy. Now, how do you balance both when you're doing outreach during this time?
I don't know. I balance it because I don't look at it like it's hard. Like I don't look at anything like anything is out my reach. For me, I just look at it like I can do everything. I think I'm fucking superwoman. You hear me? Like I was telling one of my clients, I was like, baby, if you don't think you that bitch, if you don't pour into yourself that you that bitch, who else is? If you don't think that you that person that can do it all, who else gonna tell you that? Like you gotta be that cocky sometimes.
Absolutely. I think it's important too. But then tell us the implementation of that because it's easy for us to say it. Do you have like a work life balance? Do you work off your calendar? Or how do you operate in your like ability
I'm
to balance?
I'm what you call a messy person. Like I don't plan anything. I just walk right into
Uh-huh.
it. So I don't know. It just works. It just works. I don't like cancer taught me, Eddie. It's not that serious.
Hmm.
Take your moment, figure it out, and walk right into it. Cause I was going to my treatments and I was seeing people in there. What you mad for, baby? You got
Hmm.
the hard part already. You got diagnosed. This the easy part, putting the work in. You ain't being mad about it ain't gonna get you nowhere, baby. Put that smile on. Say, hey, how you doing? Go get birthed up, cooked up for a little while, baby. Come up out of there, and you gonna be all right.
Yeah. I think that kind of leads into another like larger epidemic we can call like mental health, like care and treatment and prevention even. Um, I feel like a lot of people walk around with their unhealed traumas and may not be aware that it's trauma or a response to trauma. And even realizing the diagnosis is a piece of that trauma and it opens up other things, grief, abuse, addiction, all kind of stuff.
It might be
So,
weird. A way I deal with my traumas is the education piece. Like the more facts I learn, the easier it is for me to deal with my trauma because it's like now, like, girl, that shit, you was thinking this and you was going crazy thinking this. Now, look, girl, this. Like for me, the whole thing about the mindset of HIV, thinking that you can't cook, you can't do this. If you cut your hand and blood go in there, you might kill somebody, you might, contaminate somebody. Learning that once it leaves the body, it's dead. That was a game. That was like a wake up, and my whole body was at ease because it was like, oh, okay, I can cook, and if I cook myself, I'm not gonna kill everybody. I'm not gonna give everybody their last lives. So it's like knowing the facts. It really helps deal with a lot of the bullshit.
and I think it's really big for folks to know that we I can speak for myself. I operate a lot in how I feel, and that's not always the fact of what it is. And so sometimes my own opinion or my own perspective will get in my way of like doing
Hmm.
something else or being happy or actually doing an activity. So I that's where I feel like even if we don't seek therapy, it's the awareness that we're
Come on.
responding to something uh in a fight or flight almost kind of mentality. So yes, I do think we should absolutely have those mental health conversations because folks do walk in a poverty mindset and not like really abundance because I will absolutely look at the negative before I even think about the positive, which probably weighs 10 times more than the negative. But hey, it's easy. So
It's
sometimes
easy.
it's harder to get out of that piece.
Yeah, it is. It is. It
So
is.
let's see what's Arkansas may not always be the most welcoming to pride events. How do you make sure that your events or events that you attend are culturally affirming, inclusive, engaging?
I've always thought for everybody. Like I've never not been a person who don't put myself in everybody's shoes. So for me, I feel like that's what you have to do. You have to kind of try to think for everybody and try to, and it's not hard to include everybody. It's really easy because if you care, if you love people, like you say you love people, that's the hard part for me.
Mm-hmm. I think getting over our biases, because I remember the inclusion isn't hard. It
Mm-mm.
was my bias getting over those kind of pieces that was making it hard for me. So you're making some light bulb moments click here. It's absolutely biases that could prevent us from having those spaces, and even fear. I think fear is another thing that we don't talk about. So how do you feel about community? I know you're a part of the Star family. How do you spread that message of finding your tribe?
I mean, it's always gonna be the people that see you. You know when you sing. Like you know when you sing. I was telling my mama, I was like, people just say they love you, and then they don't love everything about you, every aspect of you. Like, don't tell me you love me, but then you have a problem with my rainbow, baby. My rainbow is me. Like, you don't see me and not see my rainbow. I can't help that. Like, and then too, like, people got to be more aware of what they give when they go in spaces. You got to know who it is when you're in that space, because that way you know how to move. And me, when I'm in a space, I don't give a fuck. I'm just moving.
Look, I just want to be me. That's what I holler.
And now I've learned why do I'm just gonna be me. Because I was telling the lady I was at Lifehouse. Lifehouse is a church. I was doing my testing event there, and she was like, "Baby, you cussing in the Lord's house?" I was like, "Did he make me? He knew exactly who he created. He know he made a cusser." I was like,
Okay.
he ain't gonna hold it against you. You need to stop holding it against me."
Yeah, like would you expect me to just combust? Like,
So I mean, for me, I feel like me being that authentic with God when I was going through my cancer is what carried me. The same way I talk to my mama and anybody else, I talk to God the same way. Like, girl, God, like, what's going on today? You need to help me out today, girl. Like, what am I dealing with today? I talk to him like that. That's my relationship. I feel like that's what it's about. Have your relationship.
absolutely. That's really important for folks to understand because I know for me, church was so prescriptive and just like many others, of course, but um, there was a way to pray, there was a way to sing, there was a way to worship, a way to
A
praise, a
way to
way to
walk, a way
show
to
up to
wave. You hear me?
and it was just like, I can't keep up with all these rules. And so now, probably like the last 10, 15 years, I say 10, I've really kind of like formulated my own relationship of, baby, we have a kiki. And especially when I started cussing more, because I used to be the type, I wouldn't even say the N word. Do you like, church really had me in that kind of
In a
like,
chokehold. It had you in a
yeah,
chokehold.
and I still love the Lord. I love the church. I realized my theatrics, my theater kid nature came from church. I
Come
didn't
on.
have a theater in West Memphis, so I was definitely a theater kid through church, and so I love the theatrics of church. Give me a choir. I don't need the hooping and hollering. I need a word, but I don't need all the hooping and hollering piece of it. So I think it's important for you to have your own relationship because I was the junior deacon. I would pray. I would definitely be end up sending myself in the holler. But
Come on.
now it's more so of it's not always like I gotta sit down and say, "Dear Lord," da 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 da. Sometimes I'll just look and be like, "Lord,"
Jesus.
and He knows the heart. Like, yeah.
Right, right, right.
So let's talk about. I like this area of hope. What's one thing this year that has made you feel especially proud?
Just seeing men care more. Just seeing the whole mental health being pushed. Like, that is important. Like, people need to know that if you're not good, baby, it's okay to not be good and get what you need to get to be good.
Hmm.
I
There's so
I,
many.
I just hate how people just go out their way to make somebody feel bad about wanting to get help. No, no. If you can't help them, please know how to send them somewhere else. Baby, I can't, but go over here. They good over here. Like, I just want everybody to do better. I'm trying to do better. I just want everybody to do better.
Yeah, I think it's all about learning capacity. For myself, it was easy for me to say no when I learned how to say no, and
Come on.
that was it. It was bold, hard no. It was around 2016, 2017 where I learned like no, but I can do da 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 da. And now I've moved into this place of I really can't give that my best yes.
Come on.
Here are the things that I can do. Here's what I have the capacity to do. And here are some people who can absolutely do
Come
what you
on.
need. If I have it offhand, I'm not going to research it for you. I used to be the type that would like research what I didn't know and say, like, they may know better. I tell you what to Google because I absolutely give you a great keyword search to get you on your way. But
Right.
I don't take ownership on all of that piece. But if I have it right offhand, you're gonna get everything I do. I don't like to gatekeep. If it's something that can help somebody else, I absolutely will give it just freely. I see now a lot of people charge for even some of the simplest of things. I'm like, damn.
They charging to breathe. You hear me? They charging to breathe.
I'm like, damn.
We was in our meeting Saturday, and the conversation came up about empowering people. People don't know how it's important to not do everything for them, because if you do everything, they're gonna start expecting that, and you ain't gonna always be around. I ain't gonna be around like this, so I want you to get it. Like, don't think you gonna call my phone. I need a ride. No, you gonna go to the website, www. You gonna go to get a ride, and you gonna put that information in, baby. And make sure you put in all the information. If you need help past that, call my phone, and I can walk you through whatever you need me to walk you through.
Absolutely. If you have trouble with the resource, I got you. If not, you just need to use the resource. So,
Come on.
very much so, none hand holding. When I was a linkage coordinator, I would do everything. I was basically their assistant. I would call the DMV and all this stuff, not even in my purview. And then I realized, I was like, no, maybe not everything you should be doing, but I just wanted to make life easier for them. And by making it easy, I provided a crutch for some pieces. So yeah, I was bad about that empowerment stuff, baby, because I was like, yeah, I just want to make sure they can do this and do this, baby. If they can't get over the barrier without you, you didn't do them any
You
type of
didn't do
service.
nothing. You didn't do nothing. If they not a better person than when you came, and when you leave, you ain't did nothing. They supposed to be better when you leave. And see, that's what I was trying to get my mama to realize. Like, a lot of parents don't realize it's easy to be a child's friend, but you're supposed to be encouraging them to be a better person than you. You're supposed to be encouraging them to be a better version of you, baby. If they not there when you leave, you ain't did your justice.
You're not. I love that. So, maybe last week, not too long ago, we saw that Gilead dropped lenacapavir, also known as Yes to Go, as the first and only FDA-approved HIV prevention option that protects for 6 months. It's an injectable. What are your thoughts on this tech or high innovation prevention measure?
So I feel like the work can continue. I feel like, I mean, yeah, it's gone, and yeah, it was a step up, and yeah, it's needed, but there's still work that has to be done, whether that's here or not. So I feel like ain't no point to dwell on that, but we got to look at the positive and keep right on pushing, because the numbers got to go down.
My thing of it is, it's great to have. I'm glad we got it. It's one of the biggest things we've gotten in like the last 43, 44 years.
Right.
So it's game changing. Beautiful. We love it in our tool belt. And we forget that when this new thing comes out, we almost forget the other stuff that we have. And my problem with a lot of the new stuff like this, or the excitement of it, is that piece that we forget everything else, and we look at it as, oh, everybody got to be on this mix. And our tool belt is too full of interventions, of biomedical interventions, of support groups, all these tools that we built over the years. Let's not forget that this is not going to be the save all, end all, be all.
Right.
Just because we have the absolute necessity. What about access? What about the prescription of it? What about the cost? What about the provider not knowing all of these things? So there is more work to be done in there. And then, too, let's not forget about the success of it. We would not have this study without the people doing the great work. So I keep seeing articles about this doctor that doctor this. And even in the white papers, you see how there are names listed as authors, but there's no acknowledgement of the folks like me and you working out to get the folks on the study. Right. I think it was Purpose 1 or 2. Now, mind you, it was a great study. They had like cis men, cis women, trans, non-binary, all types of folks. Great. But at least acknowledge the people who were boots on the ground to kind of give their work, because folks don't realize the announcement wouldn't even be possible without a relationship with people. So thank you to the doctors and the researchers and even the FDA, hell. But I want to give an even louder thank you to those folks with the boots on the ground getting this work done.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're in the same boat on that piece. I'm glad to have it. Just know we can't stop right there.
We can't stop right there. No. Because if we stop, then we gonna lose people.
Absolutely.
If we stop,
we get bigger.
Because it's people that's not caring about that. It's people that still, like you said, that's on the old back in the day. They like that. If it works, it works, baby. I'm for that.
Yeah, I'm here for it too. You got to take a shot twice a year. Cause child, let me have had this kind of prevention measure back then. I'd have been maybe I don't know. It's probably a shot in your ass. I would have been bent over the first one in line.
Like you said, Eddie, back to something that you said earlier when you were saying like the reasons for wanting to do this and the reasons for wanting to be out here. Like it's just gotta be your love for the people. Like if you really say you love people, then baby, this is where you need to be out here with these people, helping them.
I'm realizing that now. I spent many years in outreach in some capacity. When I moved to a consulting role, it was a little more difficult for me because I miss people, like that kind of, it's almost like being on stage, that instant gratification that you receive from the response, whether it's like a light bulb or even if it's somebody cussing you out, a heckler or whatever. There's just something different about feeling that connection. My role now is less connected because I'm helping with like policies and trainings and webinars. And so those kind of things give me that instant connection, but it's mostly through Zoom. So there's no like connection to the people now. And that
Mhm.
has bothered me for so long, which is why I always keep like a side gig because, I feel like Kiki, Eddie gonna keep a job.
Come
And
on.
I'm very intentional about what I do on the side because it has to be directly connected to people or at least the folks working in the field because that's also a community that we not forget about, that we don't give enough care to, because Leisha McKinley Beach taught me that we are our most important clients in our lives and we
Yeah.
don't always share that with everybody else. So I'm big on taking care of the people to take care of the people. So yes, it's important.
I'm big on making sure that I'm okay because that was my message this morning in my text. Like you gotta make sure you good because as long as you good, everybody attached to you is gonna be okay.
Mhm. Now tell me more about the support group.
The support group, it's crazy because in the beginning of the support group, I didn't think it was as big as it was, and now like what 3 years of working here at EAC and me doing the support group, to see people coming from way from Little Rock just to come to our support group every third Saturday of the month. It was like, girl, bitch, you don't see this? Like, y'all doing something in this little old room in here. Like, and to hear them say to hear them say Saturday, like, this group is just so open and we so transparent and we so giving. Like everybody in the group is so giving.
Yeah.
To me, that's important because whether I speak to this person, I'm gonna speak to somebody.
Uh-huh.
Whether I know it or not, somebody's gonna hear my message and they gonna need it. So I just
Yeah.
gotta come as me, show up as me, put myself out there, and I'm gonna touch what I need to touch. And I think everybody in our group realizes that. So I feel like I love our group. I love the support group. I would tell anybody to find one.
Yeah. So for yours, somebody who may be listening and maybe they're a little hesitant to join any support group, maybe what can people expect like at their first meeting or at any meeting?
They can expect love and laughter and good food.
Oh, ooh,
So we
heck,
always we always have a meal. It's gonna always be a meal. And during the meal, we have the best conversations. We talk about everything. And to like, sometimes people be feeling like maybe I'm too much. I love the too much. I'm a too much person.
yeah.
So for
What's
me,
too
I
much?
feel
What
like,
do they think is too much?
huh?
Tell me. What do they think is too much?
They tell
Cause
me I'm too aggressive. They tell me I'm too this, and I love it because for
yeah.
me, that's what's needed now. The too much people are needed
Mm-hmm.
because we gonna get seen regardless if we want to or not. People are gonna always see us. So if we take heed to that, we know that we can use that.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that now. I use that for every event when I'm anywhere. I'm like, I know they see me. Hey, baby, you need to get
Yeah.
tested. I'm here, here, here. Come here. You can get tested for free, 15, 20 result. Yeah, I try
Yeah.
to use that to my advantage because I know I'm too much.
Same. You just ministered to me right there. So you didn't have the organ, but that was a good benediction for me because I have a hard time with that team too much thing. So even in my physical appearance, it's a lot. When I come in, I am a personality most times. Like I'm used to being on, and now I'm realizing my own be on all the time. Even it used to be when I would get booked for things or had to MC, but now I'm like I'm happy being me. And some people call it like cuckoo, like Whitney Houston, very Whitney Houston. I walk around like you, hey, what's up, everybody? Because you're gonna turn around and look anyway, whether it's me smelling good or looking good. It's gonna be
Right.
something that catches your attention. So why not keep it? So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You gotta be good with you. You
Absolutely.
gotta be good
And
with you.
unapologetically, that's my
Come
thing.
on.
I'm
Come
super
on. Come on.
unapologetic.
I don't know how that happened to me, but it happened. And
Yeah,
I ain't giving it back.
right. I feel into it and it's stuck now.
Right, right.
Well, cool. Well, what did not get to ask you, D? Is there anything that you absolutely wanted the listeners and viewers to know?
I mean, just everybody continue to spread love. Continue to spread love and involve God in it, and you do what you need to do.
I love that. Now tell the folks where they can find you.
Always, I'm here in Texarkana at my office at 917 Hickory Street, Texarkana, Arkansas, 71854. And then I have a social media, D Star, with 2 hours. I'm always there. You can reach me anywhere. Just look for me and I'm there. Call my name. What they say, call me 3 times, I'm gonna pop up.
I love it. Well, thank you again, D, for joining us on EAC Speaks. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Eddie, for having me.
Yes, and thank you all for tuning in to this special episode of EAC Speaks. We'll catch you the next time. Ciao.
Bye.
The EAC Speaks podcast is partially supported by the Arkansas Department of Health through a grant funded in part by the CDC. All discussion is solely the responsibility of each participant and doesn't necessarily represent the official views of Engaging Arkansas Communities, the Arkansas Department of Health, CDC, or the U.S. government.